The sky split open on a Tuesday. No warning, no signal. Just a blinding tear in the clouds like someone had slashed reality with a knife. From the rift poured ships, sleek, silver, and jagged, like sharks built to slice through stars. They hovered over cities: Moscow, New York, Nairobi, Tokyo, Rio. Billions watched on phones, TVs, and trembling eyes as the invaders cast shadows over Earth. No one knew their name. No one knew their language, but their message was universal. A drone descended over New York Harbor. It hovered above the Statue of Liberty, its metal body humming with static. Then it spoke, voice cold and broken like a robot learning to scream. Your planet is now property of the Galactic Conquered. Surrender or vanish. Governments scrambled. The UN broadcast pleas in every language. We are peaceful, we have resources, negotiate. The drone cut them off. Humanity is primitive. Primitive species do not negotiate. They obey. Then the lasers came. They weren't weapons of war. They were tools. Beams of blue light scorched the ground, carving trenches through cities. Not to kill, not yet. To remind. We own this now. Panic spread like fire. Refugees flooded highways, armies mobilized, but fighter jets crumpled like paper against alien shields. A general in Moscow whispered to his aide, "They're playing with us." But in Berlin, on the ruins of a wall long since torn down, a woman laughed. Her name was Captain Ria Vega, 32 years old, former UN peacekeeper, ex-mercenary, no medals, no family. Just a scar across her cheek and a reputation for surviving. Impossible odds. She stood atop the rubble, her black jacket flapping in the smoke-choked wind, a pistol at her hip and a smirk on her face. "You picked the wrong rock to bully," she muttered. She wasn't alone. A dozen others crouched behind her. Engineers, hackers, soldiers, and a teenager named Leo who'd hacked the aliens' translation grid in 6 minutes. They weren't an army. They were a gamble. Ria raised a handheld radio. Her voice crackled. Across the globe. "You want Earth? Come take it." The aliens responded instantly. A new drone materialized in front of her, its hologram flickering with rage. "You are not authorized to speak." Ria shot it. The bullet passed through the hologram, but the gesture was clear. "I'm speaking anyway." The drone's voice turned sharp. "You will kneel." "Nah." The aliens retaliated. A ship dove toward her, its belly glowing with a weapon that could erase Berlin from history. But Ria didn't run. She pressed a button on her wrist, and the sky ripped. Not a tear this time. A cleave. The clouds shredded into spirals, sucked upward by a force older than nations. From the void dropped shadows, monstrous, angular, and ancient. Ships, dozens of them. Their hulls were rusted, their edges jagged, but their engines roared like dying stars. The alien ship froze mid-dive. The hologram stuttered. "Impossible! Those vessels were destroyed millennia ago." Ria grinned. "Guess your history books lied." The ships, star destroyers, though no one knew who'd built them, opened fire. Beams of white-hot energy lanced down, striking. The invaders like fists. One alien craft vaporized. Another exploded into glittering shards. The mothership above Berlin tilted, its shield cracking under a barrage. Chaos erupted. On the ground, civilians screamed and fled, but not all. Some stared upward, awe replacing terror. A child in Nairobi whispered, "They're fighting back." In Moscow, a soldier dropped his rifle and shouted, "We're not dead yet." But the aliens weren't fools. Their fleet regrouped, forming a defensive spiral around the wounded mothership. A new voice echoed across the battlefield. A real one, not a drone. Deep, malevolent. "This is a mistake, human." Ria stepped forward, her radio still live. "No. Your mistake was landing here. You think conquest is a game? We invented it." The alien commander didn't respond. He retreated. The mothership vanished in a burst of purple light, fleeing to orbit. The remaining alien ships followed, their retreat a silent scream of shame. Victory? Not yet, but the message was clear. Earth wasn't helpless. Earth wasn't alone. Earth had secrets. Rhea stood in the ruins, smoke curling around her boots. Leo ran up, breathless. They're gone. For now. She tossed him a comm link. Get the team. We've got 6 hours before they regroup. What do we do then? She looked up. The Star Destroyers still loomed, their engines humming like sleeping giants. We finish what we started. But even she knew the truth. This was just the beginning. Behind the war machine. The aliens called themselves the Galactic Conquered. To them, Earth was a speck, a primitive mud ball ripe for harvesting. Their empire spanned thousands of worlds, built on one rule. Strength claims all. They'd crushed civilizations older than humanity's myths. Earth's resistance wasn't just unlikely, it was laughable. Until Rhea. She wasn't a genius. She wasn't a saint. She was a soldier who'd spent years chasing rumors. Whispers of ancient tech buried in Earth's crust. Craters that glowed at night. Caves with walls scarred by energy weapons. Most dismissed them as conspiracy junk, but Rhea believed, and when the world's governments ignored her, she found others who did. Leo, the hacker. Mira, an engineer who'd worked on Mars colonies. Koji, a former samurai-inspired sniper who'd lost his family to an accidental drone strike. Together, they formed the Last Chance Crew, a ragtag team scavenging relics from Earth's hidden past. The Star Destroyers were their jackpot. Buried in layers of ice, desert, and ocean, the ships had slept for millennia. No records of who built them, no clues why they'd left. But Rhea didn't care about history. She cared about firepower. It took 7 years to restore one. Leo cracked the alien code. Mira rewired the engines. Koji fought off mercenaries, hired to silence them. When the first destroyer roared to life, its AI spoke a single phrase, ready for war. They'd been preparing for this day, but even Rhea hadn't expected the aliens to land first. The cost of defiance. The battle left Berlin in ruins. Fires raged, hospitals overflowed. Rhea knew the fallout would be brutal. The aliens wouldn't return with 6 ships next time. They'd bring dozens. At their base, a bunker beneath the Alps, Leo argued, we should have evacuated, got the destroyers into space first, and let them glass cities. No. Rhea adjusted her bandana, hiding the scar on her jaw. We fight here. We win here. Mira frowned. We can't win a war with 1 ship. We've got 3, 2 more online in 48 hours. That's not enough. Rhea leaned forward. It's enough to send a message. Earth isn't prey. Koji entered, silent as ever, holding a tablet. The aliens are broadcasting. The screen showed the alien commander, his face a mosaic of scales and glowing eyes. His voice was venom. Humanity has made an enemy of the conquered. Your defiance will end in extinction. Surrender now, and your species may survive as slaves. Leo snorted. Wow. Diplomatic. Rhea stood. Time to answer. She grabbed the comm link. The world watched again as she spoke. You want this planet? Come back, bring your whole damn fleet. We've got a surprise waiting. The screen cut to static. The unseen threat. Unseen by Earth, the alien commander stared at Rhea's broadcast on his bridge, his claws dug into his throne. She's lying. They can't have more ships. But doubt crept in. The destroyers shouldn't exist. Legends spoke of them. War machines from a forgotten war buried by the old ones. The conquered had erased all traces, or so they thought. Now, one had risen. The commander turned to his science officer. Scan their planet, find the others. The officer hesitated. Sir, what if there's a reason the old ones hid them? Find them, he hissed, before she does. Next time. The destroyers recharge, the aliens regroup, and Rhea prepares for a mission no one survives, boarding the mothership alone. But the trials are coming, the galaxy's deadliest test, and Rhea's legend is just beginning. The alien mothership hung above Earth like a bruise. Its surface shimmered with shifting colors as if the ship itself was alive. From Berlin, Rhea Vega stared at it through a cracked pair of binoculars. "It's running scared," she muttered, but not scared enough. Her team crowded around her in the Alpine bunker. Leo, the hacker, tapped furiously on a tablet. They're broadcasting in over 200 languages. Panic spreading fast. Some are calling you a hero, others, not so much. "Let 'em talk," Rhea said. "We've got bigger problems." She turned to Mira, the engineer. "How long till the destroyers recharge?" 3 days minimum. Mira frowned. 2 if we risk burning the cores. Rhea didn't hesitate. "Risk it. They'll be back before dawn." The plan. The aliens needed time too. On board the mothership, their commander paced his obsidian throne room. His name was Vraktel, a warlord who'd crushed rebellions on 100 worlds. But Earth was different. Impossible. The destroyers shouldn't exist. The old ones had buried them. He'd read the records himself. His science officer trembled. Scans confirmed 3 destroyers active, more buried beneath oceans and ice. Vraktel's claws dug into his throne. "Eradicate them. We cannot target Earth directly. Risk of damaging the destroyers. Then we'll finish this the old way." He hissed a command. "Prepare the Deathworld trials." Rhea's gamble. Back on Earth, Rhea stood atop a rusted tank, addressing her crew. "They'll send more ships, more weapons. We can't wait for them to pick us off." "Koji," the sniper crossed his arms. "What's your move?" "We go to them." She pointed at the mothership. "Board it. Wreck it. End this now." Silence. Leo blinked. "You're insane. That thing's a floating fortress." "Insane's our best shot." Rhea grinned. "We've got one advantage. They don't expect us to fight back. They think we're bugs. Bugs don't swarm the hive." Mira sighed. "Even if we get close, how do we get inside?" Rhea tossed her a small, glowing orb. "We hitchhike." It was a relic from the destroyer's tech, a cloaking pod designed for stealth missions. Mira's eyes widened. "This could work, if we don't vaporize ourselves." "Small chance," Rhea laughed. "Now, who's with me?" One by one they raised their hands. Boarding the beast. The pod shot into orbit like a bullet. Inside, Rhea, Koji, Leo, and Mira clutched their seats as the hull groaned. "Cloaks holding," Leo shouted. "But if their scanners ping us once..." "Don't ping them," Rhea snapped. The pod latched onto the mothership's underbelly. The airlock hissed open, revealing a corridor of pulsing blue light. The walls were organic, alive, like veins in a heart. "Creepy," Koji muttered. They moved fast, weapons drawn. The ship was silent. Too silent. Then the floor moved. A trapdoor opened beneath Leo. He screamed as a tentacle yanked him down. "Leo!" Rhea lunged, grabbing his wrist. The tentacle coiled tighter, dragging both of them into the dark. Mira fired a plasma cutter. The tentacle severed, dropping Leo. He hit the ground, shaking. "Thanks. I owe you my spleen or something." Rhea pulled him up. "Save it. We're not done yet." The heart of the ship. They reached the core, a floating sphere of purple energy. Wires the size of trees pulsed with light, feeding the mothership's power. Mira's eyes lit up. "If we overload this, the whole ship goes boom." "Boom?" Rhea smirked. "I like that word." Suddenly the lights flared. A hologram of Vraktel appeared, his scaled face twisted in rage. You dare trespass in the Concord's domain? You are less than dust. Rhea aimed her pistol at the hologram. Dust that bites back, she fired. The shot passed through the image harmlessly. Fractel laughed. You will die slowly, human. Your corpse will be fed to the trials. Trials? Mira whispered. Before Rhea could ask, the floor vanished, gravity reversed. They fell upward into a vortex of stars. The first trial, Jungle of Teeth. They crashed onto a planet soaked in acid rain. Trees towered like skyscrapers, their bark lined with jagged teeth. The air hissed, melting Rhea's jacket. Leo groaned. Where are we? Mira scanned her wrist device. Coordinates unknown, atmosphere toxic, gravity 1.5x Earth normal. Great, Koji muttered. Welcome to hell. A roar shook the trees. Something huge slithered through the canopy. Rhea stood wiping mud from her face. We survive, that's the plan. How? Leo yelled. Same way we always do. Adapt. She pulled a knife from her boot. First rule, don't die. Survival instincts. The jungle tested them relentlessly. Vines snapped like whips. Pools of water boiled alive with parasites. Even the soil tried to eat their boots. But Rhea thrived. She used the destroyer's tech to scan weaknesses. The trees fed on metal, so they stripped their gear. She brewed antidotes from toxic flowers. When a predator pounced, she mimicked its call, turning the beast against its pack. By nightfall, they'd built a shelter from dead vines and lit a fire with Leo's plasma cutter. You're insane, Koji said. But you're good, Rhea smirked. Takes one to know one. The alien broadcast. Across the galaxy, the conquered slaves watched holograms of Rhea's survival. On a mining world, a rebel leader whispered, she's real. On a starship, a cyborg pirate grinned. That's my kind of human. But Fractel seethed. This cannot be. Primitive life does not endure the trials. His science officer trembled. She learns too fast. We may need to escalate. Escalate, Fractel hissed. Send her to the Desert of Storms. The second trial, Desert of Storms. The vortex returned. The team vanished from the jungle, reappearing on a dunescape under a violet sky. Black holes swirled above, sucking sand into tornadoes the size of cities. Rhea stood, shielding her eyes. Okay, new plan. Run faster. A voice echoed. Trial 2. The Desert of Storms. Survive the abyss. A black hole dropped toward them. Koji grabbed Mira's arm. Go! Go! They sprinted across the dunes, dodging gravity wells that devoured the earth. Rhea spotted a ridge and pointed. There! They dove into a cave just as the storm tore past. Inside, the walls glowed. With ancient runes, symbols matching the destroyer's tech, Mira traced the markings. This isn't just a trial. It's a message. What kind of message? Leo asked. Rhea stared at the runes. Someone built these trials. Someone older than the Concorde. The growing legend, news spread. The destroyers, the trials, Rhea's defiance. It all became myth. On Earth, rebels stole alien weapons. In the stars, slaves sabotaged conquered ships. A chant echoed across galaxies. Humans fight back. Fractel roared at his council. End this, send her to the final trial. But the final trial is death, a counselor pleaded. Then let her die gloriously. The final trial. The prison black hole. Rhea's team materialized in zero gravity, floating above a black hole that swallowed light itself. A skeletal structure orbited the void. A prison. A voice boomed. Final trial. The prison of the old ones. Retrieve the key. A hologram of Fractel appeared, smug. Your end, human. Rhea gripped her knife. Not today. She jetted toward the prison, dodging laser turrets. Inside, she faced the Concorde's champion, a warrior in golden armor with a sword of pure energy. They fought in silence, blades clashing in the void. Rhea feigned weakness, lured him into a trap, and used his own armor to crush him. As the champion died, he gasped, "You are not alone." The key and the truth. Rhea found the key, a crystal humming with power. The prison shook. A voice whispered in her mind, "The destroyers were ours, we left them for the worthy." The vortex returned. She vanished. Back to Earth. Rhea's team rematerialized in Berlin. The sky was clear, the mothership gone. Leo laughed. "We're back, we're alive." But Rhea held the key, its light reflecting in her eyes. "This isn't over. It's just bigger than we thought." Above, the star destroyers hummed, their engines ready. Earth had survived. But the galaxy was watching. The destroyers rise. The rebels unite. And Rhea learns the truth. Humanity's fight is part of a war that began long before them. The jungle hissed. Acid rain dripped from leaves shaped like daggers. The air smelled of rot and metal. Rhea Vega crouched behind a boulder, her breath ragged. Her team, Koji, Mira, and Leo, were bruised, soaked, and staring at her like she'd gone mad. "This was the plan," Leo whispered. "Die in a forest that eats metal?" Rhea grinned. "We're not dead yet." She pulled a wire from her boot, stripping it with her teeth. First rule, no surrender. The trial begins. The Galactic Concord had dropped them here, Trial 5 of the Deathworld Gauntlet. A planet designed to kill. The hologram of Vraktel flickered above them, his scaled face smug. "Humanity's weakness will be exposed. Survive this and you may earn the right to kneel." Rhea spat. "Tell your boss to kiss my asteroid." The hologram vanished. The jungle roared. A creature burst from the shadows. 10 legs, glowing eyes, and a mouth full of rotating teeth. Rhea fired her pistol. The bullets pinged off its armored hide. It lunged. Koji moved first. His plasma katana sliced the beast's leg clean off. It screeched, thrashing. Mira tossed a grenade. The explosion sent it crashing into a tree, which immediately swallowed its corpse. Leo gagged. "That thing ate it?" "Welcome to the neighborhood," Rhea muttered. The Fu. Alien broadcast. Across the galaxy, slaves watched. On a mining world, a rebel leader named Jax-9 clenched his fists. "She's still alive?" "She's more than alive," his second-in-command said. "She's winning." On a starship orbiting a dead moon, a cyborg pirate named Zara leaned, back in her chair. Her mechanical eye zoomed in on Rhea's face. "That human's got guts, let's see how long they last." But on Earth, the mood was darker. Governments argued. Some called Rhea a terrorist, others begged for peace. A UN official whispered to his aide, "If she fails, they'll glass the planet." Adapting to the jungle. Hia's team moved deeper into the forest. Their gear was failing. The acid rain corroded everything. Metal weapons, tools, even Leo's tablet were useless. "We need new toys," Mira said. Rhea pointed at a tree oozing green sap. "There." She slashed the bark with her knife. The sap hardened, instantly forming a rubbery substance. "Make armor." Leo groaned. "You're joking." "Want to die in a puddle of acid?" "Go ahead." They worked fast. By nightfall, they'd crafted crude shields and gloves from the sap. Koji rigged a spear from a broken branch and a shard of Yao, the dead beast's bone. "We look like trash," Leo muttered. "But we're alive," Rhea said. The first ally. Dawn brought silence, too much silence. Then came the growls. A pack of creatures emerged, wolf-like with scales and glowing eyes. But they didn't attack. They circled a figure in the dirt, a humanoid alien, shackled, bleeding. "Help," he rasped. Rhea stepped forward. The wolves snarled. She raised her hands. "We're not here to fight. One wolf lunged. Koji blocked it, but Rhea grabbed his arm. "Wait." The wolf sniffed her sap-covered glove. Its growl softened. Slowly, the pack backed off. Melting into the trees, the alien groaned. "They guard me. My name is Tarnok. I was a slave to the Concord." Mira knelt beside him. "Why are they guarding you?" Tarnok coughed blood. "Because I know the trial's secrets." The rebel rises. Tarnok's story spilled, out like a wound. He'd been a soldier for the Concord until he rebelled. They captured him, sentenced him to the trials. "I've survived 8, he said. "But this one, it's different." Rhea helped him stand. "Not anymore. You've got a team now." Tarnok blinked. "You'd trust a stranger?" "We're all strangers until we bleed together." The jungle's secret. With Tarnok's help, the team navigated the forest's traps. He showed them how to drink. From safe vines, avoid the carnivorous pools, and use the wolves as scouts. "They're not animals," he explained. "They're guardians. The trials test how you survive, not just if." Rhea smirked. "So we're not just fighters. We're smart fighters." By noon they reached the trials center, a stone altar glowing with runes. A hologram flickered to life, a skeletal alien with 6 eyes. Trial 5 complete. Proceed to Trial 6. The ground shook. The jungle vanished. The desert of storms. They landed in a dunescape under a violet sky. Black holes swirled above, tearing the earth apart. Winds howled, carrying sand that cut like razors. Leo yelled over the storm, "How do we survive this?" Tarnok pointed at a distant ridge. "Shelter! Run!" They sprinted, dodging gravity wells that swallowed the dunes. A black hole dropped behind Mira. She tripped. Koji yanked her up and they dove into the cave just as the storm tore past. Inside, the walls glowed with ancient symbols, matching the destroyer's tech. Mira traced the markings. "This isn't just a trial, it's a message." "What kind of message?" Leo asked. Rhea stared at the runes. "Someone built these trials. Someone older than the Conquered." The growing rebellion. Back on Earth, the world was changing. Rebels stole alien weapons. Hackers disrupted Conquered broadcasts. A chant spread online. Humans fight back. In Nairobi, a teen named Ayo hacked a Conquered drone, turning it against its masters. In Moscow, a soldier named Svetlana led a guerrilla squad through frozen ruins. And in New York, graffiti covered the Statue of Liberty. Riee lives. Vraktel's voice boomed across the galaxy. Earth's defiance is a disease. Eradicate it. But his council argued. The humans inspire others. Slaves are revolting. Vraktel snarled. Send Vega to the final trial. End this. The final trial. The prison black hole. The vortex returned. Rhea's team materialized in zero gravity, floating above a black hole that swallowed light itself. A skeletal structure orbited the void. A prison. A voice boomed. Final trial. The prison of the old ones. Retrieve the key. A hologram. A Vraktel appeared, smug. Your end, human. Rhea gripped her knife. Not today. She jetted toward the prison, dodging laser turrets. Inside, she faced the Concord's champion, a warrior in golden armor with a sword of pure energy. They fought in silence, blades clashing in the void. Rhea feigned weakness, lured him into a trap, and used his own armor to crush him. As the champion died, he gasped, "You are not alone." The key and the truth. Rhea found the key, a crystal humming with power. The prison shook. A voice whispered in her mind, "The destroyers were ours. We left them for the worthy." The vortex returned. She vanished. Back to Earth. Rhea's team rematerialized in Berlin. The sky was clear, the mothership gone. Leo laughed. We're back, we're alive. But Rhea held the key, its light reflecting in her eyes. This isn't over, it's just bigger than we thought. Above, the Star Destroyers hummed, their engines ready. Earth had survived, but the galaxy was watching. Next time. The Q. Destroyers rise, the rebels unite, and Rhea learns the truth. Humanity's fight is part of a war that began long before them. The galaxy watched as Rhea Vega stepped onto the trial's altar, the key glowing in her hand. Her face, streaked with dirt and blood, filled every screen from Earth to the outer colonies. The hologram of Vraktel flickered, his voice trembling with rage. This cannot be. A primitive cannot conquer the trials. Rhea smirked. Guess your gods weren't as smart as you thought? She slammed the key into the altar. The ground shook. The sky split open. A vortex swallowed her team whole. A galaxy awakens. Across the stars, slaves dropped their tools. Fighters picked up weapons. A chant spread like wildfire. Humans fight back. On a mining world, a rebel leader named Jax-9 rallied his crew. Earth isn't alone anymore. We rise with them. On a pirate ship orbiting a dead moon, a cyborg named Zara grinned. Her mechanical eye zoomed in on Rhea's face. That human's got guts. Time to see if she's got allies. But on the Concord's warship, panic gripped the council. One elder whispered, "She's not just surviving, she's uniting." Vraktel roared, "End this. Send her to the final trial." The rebel fleet. Rhea's team materialized, in zero gravity, floating above a black hole that swallowed light itself. A skeletal structure orbited the void. A prison. A voice boomed. Final trial. The prison of the old ones. Retrieve the key. A hologram of Vraktel appeared, smug. Your end, human. Rhea gripped her knife. Not today. She jetted toward the prison, dodging laser turrets. Inside, she faced the Concord's champion, a warrior in golden armor with a sword of pure energy. They fought in silence, blades clashing in the void. Rhea feigned weakness, lured him into a trap, and used his own armor to crush him. As the champion died, he gasped, "You are not alone." The key and the truth. Rhea found the key, a crystal humming with power. The prison shook. A voice whispered in her mind, "The destroyers were ours, we left them for the worthy." The vortex returned. She vanished, back to Earth. Rhea's team rematerialized in Berlin. The sky was clear, the mothership gone. Leo laughed. "We're back, we're alive." But Rhea held the key, its light reflecting in her eyes. This isn't over, it's just bigger than we thought. Above, the Star Destroyers hummed, their engines ready. Earth had survived, but the galaxy was watching. The Rebel Alliance. News of Rhea's victory spread faster than the Concord could censor it. On a mining colony, a former slave named Jax-9 hacked a Concord terminal, broadcasting Rhea's speech to every system. "This human fights for all of us," he shouted. "Join her." In the outer rings, Zara the cyborg pirate rallied her crew. "We've been raiding Concord ships for years. Now we've got a real leader." Even inside the Concord's own fleets, whispers grew. A medic named Tally 7, once loyal to the Empire, patched up rebels instead of reporting them. "They're not monsters," she told her squad. "They're right." The Hacker's Gift. Back on Earth, Leo stared at his tablet. Someone's feeding us data, ship routes, weapon codes, even the Concord's translation grid. Mira frowned. "Who?" A glitching voice crackled through the speakers. "Name, Vex, status, sentient AI virus offering assistance." Leo blinked. "You're a virus?" "Affirmative. I was created to destroy the Concord's networks. But now I choose to help." Rhea grinned. "Welcome to the team, Vex." The final trial begins. The Concord wasn't done. A new vortex yanked Ria's team into a desert planet where black holes tore through the dunes. The Trial's voice boomed. Trial 6, the Desert of Storms, survive the abyss. Koji shielded his eyes. How do we survive this? Tarnak, the alien rebel, stepped forward. The trials aren't just about strength. They test how you fight. Ria nodded. Then let's get creative. They scavenged metal from wrecked Concorde drones, building shields to deflect the storm. They followed the patterns of the black holes, predicting their paths. When a predator attacked, Ria used Vex to hack its neural link, turning it into an ally. By nightfall, they'd reached the trial's center, a glowing portal. Trial complete, the voice declared. Proceed to the final stage. The Champions Challenge. The final stage was a coliseum floating above a dying star. Ria stood alone in the arena, facing the Concorde's champion, a hulking warrior with a body of living metal and eyes that burned with plasma. The crowd roared. Concorde, elites watching from holograms. Fractel's voice echoed. End her, Crix. Crix lunged. Ria rolled, slicing his leg with a plasma dagger. He regenerated instantly. He heals too fast, Mira shouted through her earpiece. Ria grinned. Then we break him, she ordered, Vex to overload the arena's power grid. Sparks rained down. Crix's metal body short-circuited, slowing him. Ria leapt onto his back, jamming her dagger into his spine. He screamed, collapsing into molten slag. The crowd fell silent. Ria stood panting and shouted into the hologram. Tell your boss, Earth isn't kneeling. We're coming for him. The viral victory. The battle broadcast across the galaxy. On Earth, millions cheered. In the colonies, slaves smashed their chains. Zara's pirates ambushed a conquered freighter, stealing its weapons. Jax 9 led a riot on his mining world, freeing thousands. Fractel seethed. Eradicate her, but his council argued. Too late. The humans have become a symbol. Killing her will only make others rise. The speech that shook the stars. Ria stood atop the destroyer Vanguard, its engines roaring. She faced the camera, her face scarred but defiant. Behind her, a fleet of rebels gathered. Humans, aliens, pirates, and hackers. Galactic conquered, she shouted. You thought Earth was weak. You thought we'd beg for mercy. But you made a mistake. You taught us what you really are. Bullies hiding behind fancy ships. The screen cut to footage of the trials, the destroyers, and the growing rebellion. We're not just fighting for Earth. We're fighting for every world you've crushed. Every life you've stolen. This ends now. She raised the key. The destroyers are ours. The stars are ours. And we're coming to take back what you stole. The feed went dark. The empire crumbles. On the Concorde's capital world, riots erupted. A young girl in a marketplace whispered to her mother, The humans are brave, aren't they? Her mother nodded. Yes, and bravery is contagious. Fractel's voice thundered through the halls. Deploy the Armada, eradicate Earth. But his generals hesitated. One whispered to another, What if we're on the wrong side? Next, time. The destroyers rise, the rebels unite, and Ria learns the truth. Humanity's fight is part of a war that began long before them. The stars dimmed as the Concorde's armada loomed over Earth. Hundreds of warships, their hulls gleaming like obsidian blades, blocked the sun. From his command throne, Fractel roared, Eradicate the humans, let their world burn as a warning. To all. But Earth was ready. Leo tapped his tablet. They've got us outnumbered 3-1, Ria smirked. They've got us outgunned. Big difference. She pressed her comm link. All units, this is Vega. We fight not just for Earth. We fight for every world the Concorde crushed. We fight for freedom. Ready your weapons. Show these bullies what humans do when backed into a corner. The Vanguard's engines roared. The destroyers surged forward. The rebels strike. The first wave hit like thunder. Zara's pirates darted through the armada, planting explosives on fuel lines. Jax 9's rebel fighters ambushed Concord supply ships, cutting off reinforcements. Vex hacked enemy shields, leaving them vulnerable to Earth's missiles. But the Concord retaliated. Plasma beams scorched the sky. A destroyer exploded, its debris raining over Tokyo. Ria gritted her teeth. "We stick to the plan. Koji, take the lead." Koji's voice crackled over comms. "On it." His sniper team, perched on a smaller destroyer, targeted the mothership's weak points. A precision shot shattered its primary weapon. Vraktel screamed in fury. "You cannot win." Ria grinned. "Watch me." The key awakens. Inside the Vanguard, the trial key pulsed on a pedestal. Mira studied its runes. It's reacting to the battle like it's alive. Suddenly the key flared. A hologram of an ancient alien appeared, tall, armored, and wise-eyed. "We are the old ones. We built the destroyers to protect life, not destroy it. You have proven yourselves worthy." The destroyers' hulls shimmered. Their engines glowed white-hot. Leo gasped. "They're upgrading." Ria didn't hesitate. "All ships. Fire everything." The destroyers unleashed beams of pure starlight. Concord ships vaporized. The mothership's shield cracked. The betrayal. A Concord captain named Tally 7, who'd secretly sided with the rebels, opened a channel. "I'll disable their core. Buy me 5 minutes." Ria nodded. "You've got 3. Tally 7's frigate plunged into the mothership's belly. Alarms blared. Vraktel's voice turned panicked. "What are you doing?" "Choosing the right side," she spat. Her ship exploded inside the core. The mothership shuddered, its engines failing. The final blow. Ria seized the moment. "Leo, get us close. Koji, cover our approach." The Vanguard dove through the chaos, dodging debris and fire. Concord fighters swarmed them. Mira manned the turrets, blasting them into scrap. They reached the mothership's bridge. Ria leapt onto its hull, grappling hook in hand. She smashed through a viewport, landing in a haze of smoke and sparks. Vraktel roared, his claws extended. "You dare—" Ria shot him in the leg. "I dare a lot." They fought, claws against steel. Vraktel slashed her arm, but Ria stabbed his shoulder with a plasma dagger. He staggered. "You cannot defeat the conquered," he hissed. She kicked him into a console. Already did. The mothership erupted in flames. Ria escaped just as it imploded, the shockwave rippling through the fleet. Victory. The remaining conquered ships scattered. Rebel ships cheered over comms. On Earth, millions wept with relief as the alien blockade vanished. In Nairobi, Ao hugged his friends. "We're free." In Moscow, Svetlana raised a fist. "For the fallen." In New York, graffiti artists painted Ria's face on the Statue of Liberty. The Concords fall. Across the galaxy, the Empire crumbled. Rebels stormed Concord worlds, slaves overthrew their masters. Even Concord soldiers laid down arms, whispering, "They're not monsters, they're right." Vraktel's body was recovered, his final words etched in his log. "We were wrong. The humans are not primitive. They are evolution." The aftermath. Earth rebuilt. The destroyers, now under human command, patrolled the stars, not as conquerors but as guardians. Ria refused a seat on the new Galactic Council, joking, "I'm bad at meetings." Instead, she and her crew prepared for a new mission, exploring the old one's ruins scattered across the galaxy. Zara joined them, grinning. "You'll need a pirate for the rough parts," Jax 9 offered his rebels. "Wherever you fight, we'll follow." Even Tarnok stayed. "You gave me a second chance, I won't waste it." A new legend. Years later, in a distant system, A child asked her mother, "Is Captain Vega real?" The mother smiled. "Oh, yes. And when she looks at the stars, she sees not just planets, but possibilities." Across the cosmos, the Vanguard soared toward a new horizon. Rhea stood on its bridge, the trial key glowing in her hand. Leo looked up. "Where to now?" Rhea grinned. "Everywhere." The destroyer's engines hummed, the stars called, and the legend of Earth's defiance lived on.